barely played any. You really had only cards like Super Polymerization, Forbidden Droplet, and then sometimes even more quick play spells like the Radiant Typhoon Vision even. Is the version that Yannik is running going into that direction, or is there more hand interaction in there as well?
There's not a great deal of hand interaction from what I can see here.
Okay.
We can see some in the side deck. In the main deck, I can't really see a great deal of non-engine in general.
Fair.
But we do see powerful cards like the Branded Retribution in the main deck, which again, it's high rolling, because if you're trying to just hopefully go first, that's hopefully going to be more useful to you than going second. We do see the Beyond the Pendulum coming out here as well. Also a very powerful card for the pendulum-based decks in general, allowing you to search the deck for I think just a pendulum monster, unless I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, Leonardo, he has played 2 matches on stream here today already. The first one went really well against Yuna. The second one then was the one that he lost against Danilo in already basically a Worlds qualifying match in round 4, where in the end Danilo was the one coming out on top. Is he going to be able to leave all of that behind him here? Because he is the one that did not win in the last round. Interestingly enough, I think Yannik actually, he also came into the playoff. It says 3-1 here, but I think he was 2-2 actually, as the one person sneaking in to top 4. There immediately the correction. Yeah, he was the lucky person basically, because with the new system, with Danilo going in as first place already before we go into the final matches, that meant fifth place could actually come in, and that 5th place in that case was lucky Yannik with a score of 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, obviously there is a luck factor here as well, but not to take away from the sheer amount of skill and dedication all of these players have put in. All of them deserve to be here. All of them deserve to go to Worlds. But at this point, we have to decide which of them is going to be.
Certainly. And Leonardo, it feels like every game that he has been playing with this deck, he got a little safer, a little better with it. He told me earlier, this is actually only the first week he is playing Power Patron. He found out the deck is insanely good and he had to go with it. And he then told me also, I should have played this so much earlier. This deck is so good. I should have played this from the get-go, really.
It is a very powerful deck, setting the counter trap from the deck with Non-Finito. Activatable this turn if needs be, because of Non-Finito's effect. And I believe it is just a non-mitigate, just stops kind of anything here, which is very powerful here. We have seen, I think, the discard of the Triple Tactics Talons here, unless I'm much mistaken. So I think at this point, probably just confident in the rest of his hand ability to play through any interruptions that might be coming, or just that there aren't any.
Well, it looks pretty good already, and Yannik did not really even blink so far, so it doesn't feel like he's going to hit us with anything the later stages here. Rather just taking a quick read there, checking out what that trap card has to offer there, and he will not like what he got there as a little lecture, as that is just such a powerful all-arounder.
We do see, I think the effect, not the effect, sorry, the Exceed the Pendulum, I'd imagine is being something here. Yes, it is indeed a very powerful card as well. I mean, there's not really weak cards in the deck, is there?
They're all powerful cards.
They're all powerful cards, but I'm going to keep saying it because it makes me feel better. But we see that being activated here as well. I think Ginaldo coming down in the other Pendulum zone here as well, which the Power Patron cards are so powerful. They are so strong, because them being like continuous spell type effects that you can activate, you'd think, okay, I'll just destroy them. But then they still plus off of that.
Well, that's never a good approach against that deck.
No, not at all.
They're so resilient. Like, when I check them out, or rather, when initially reading them, I was already thinking, okay, there is something about this, but when I then had to play against it for the first time, I realized, well, this never stops. It is, whatever I do, they are going to do their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You need specifically non-destruction negation.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, it's not going to be enough. You might as well not interact with it. It's crazy to see how powerful these lore cards are as well. All of the cards in all of the Medius archetypes seem very powerful, work well together. I, for one, cannot wait for the 60-card Medius pile with just all of them.
Just whatever you draw, that route you go.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. You get it. Or if you draw Medius, take your pick.
Well, all the options available. Also, multiple of those decks were in our playoffs, as we also had the Elf Node deck in the playoff, being piloted by Marco Parenti, and there also was another Archmage deck in the playing field. That one was more of a pure Power Patron version. But I mean, this one here by Leonardo also mostly consisting out of the Power Patron cards with just a couple of Archmage cards.
It does seem to be, I think, one of the more popular builds of Power Patron, if only because it does get you that non-finito, which gets you that powerful counter trap. Yeah. So for the cost of like an extra deck space and a brick in the main deck, it gets you that extra level of ceiling to your strategy.
Totally.
Which again, it's this whole playoff is about ceiling. It's about high roll. It's about trying to do the best you can when you've got that chance to roll the dice and see how well you can do.
Shade the Obscure, making another Obscure appearance here on Featured Match. Leonardo basically always went through that card when comboing, and that is once more the TCG exclusive that is just so good for all the Pendulum enjoys. And I said to Leo earlier in Leonardo's first Featured Match, what if Electromite would also be around for all of that? That would be a crazy boost to the deck, though.
I think clearly we don't need it at this point.
No, we don't.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are some people who are very happy about that. But yeah, at this point, the deck is doing so well. It might be that thing that it just needs to bump it just that one extra level higher than it already is. But again, does it need that at this point?
True that. And we have now established Shade the Obscure on the field. I think we used its in-hand effect to special summon it out, and now we also used the on-field effect, and we did destroy another Pendulum monster card, and we are getting another Pendulum from our deck, face up to our extra deck.
That we are indeed. Going to be summoning the Japre... yes, no, maybe?
We're not sure.
Considering, thinking.
And there it is.
Ooh, we do see the second Nevado being summoned, making that Varodras, I can only imagine. There we go.
Of course.
All of the rank 10 Xyz monsters are so powerful as well, and having access to all of them just as and when you need them in this deck is very nice, the touch to have. But even something like Mercurium the Living Quicksilver, another TCG exclusive, which has almost an Abyss Dweller type effect on it. So you can play this deck in a very sort of combo-heavy, let's just layer the interactions, or you can play it in a sense of trying to win straight away with Floodgate effects, or even trying to burn the opponent down. It's such a versatile deck to be able to do certain things with. But again, we see here from Leonardo that type of deck which is layer your field.
Yeah, and I'm curious on how we are layering it in a way that we may be able to also play around cards like Super Polymerization. We go into Baguska and immediately link it off there?
That's interesting.
What are we doing there? I was like, oh, that's another pretty decent end field piece there with that Baguska, but no, we link it off right away for the Purification Power Patron.
I think just trying to clear a spot on the field, maybe? I'm not sure.
Possibly.
Or maybe there's a secret tech. Maybe Baguska has a graveyard effect that none of us know about.
We will find out about it just here.
Do you see that Power Patron? That Power Patron Link 2 effectively being like an archetypal SP, IQ Master Arena rather, which is very powerful. And
it's hilarious.
Seeing here linking into all the Charmer Quartet in Bloom, an incredibly powerful card, being able to, as a quick effect, so you can do it during the opponent's turn as well, summon 2 monsters with either the same type of attribute from the graveyard.
So that's how we get the Baguska back, right? That's the only way to do it.
Oh,
I would imagine.
Smart. You got a good brain.
Well, I try. Sometimes there's a little bit of light coming through. But, I mean, you can basically just bring back 2 monsters with the same attributes, so that's...
Oh, wait, that's crazy. So you can do a Varodras and then get big... That's nuts.
Yeah.
I love seeing this kind of play, because it's just something that my small brain would never have thought about, and I'm going, wait, that's crazy. We do see this, I assume the special summon here of the incredibly crazy, the Virtuous, quick effect tribute itself off. See if Leonardo wants to respond to that anyway.
Oh, Called by the Grave! It all was even safer than it looked. Even if Yannik had any kind of interruption, it would have always been answered with that Called by the Grave. So, yeah, 1 card less for Yannik.
That's why he was so happy to discard the triple tactic talent at that point, because you're like, hey, it activates something, go ahead.
Sure enough, just do it. But Yannik still seems confident in maybe breaking this field, as he does normal summon out the Guiding Quem here.
Guiding Quem, a very powerful card in the strategy, has been for a long time in the branded strategy. Just normal summon, special summon, use it during the opponent's turn. It does so much for the deck. And waiting here to see if it's going to resolve here, or if Leonardo wants to do something to try and stop that. We see the quick fusion from the non-finito to summon the Darktress here. Oh wait, no, sorry.
That's Apelia.
Oh.
That's neat. That card has been in and out of fusion decks for a long time, but here even when the extra deck is so tight because you're including all kind of different summoning versions like fusions, link monsters, also even sometimes some synchro monsters in there, still Amon sneaked in there as one of the probably like card 14 or 15 that made it into this deck.
Oh, almost certainly. Again, there are so many options you can put in your Power Potion extra deck, from the train that burns the opponent down to even like the Mercurian and even Quicksilver. You can do so much with this deck. But yeah, we see the Dragon's Bellow coming down here. Seeing the Fall of the White Dragon sending the Dragon that Devours the Dogma to the graveyard here to summon itself.
This is smart, because with Leonardo chaining this right here, right now, even before the Quem activates, we are playing around Super Polymerization massively, because if we allow the Fallen of the White Dragon to hit the field, that Super Polymerization can be chained, can in the process also get rid of the Quem, making sure that that would resolve. But here, all of that is denied by it already being negated the moment the Fallen and the White Dragon is on the field.
We do see the Archmage counter trap here being activated to negate and destroy that Fall of the White Dragon, immediately removing that threat from the field as well. We haven't even used Varudras. I don't think we know what that set card is, and we have not used the Charm of Quartet in Bloom here as well. There is still a lot of interaction Leonardo can play with here.
It's crazy, and Yannik thinking with only 3 cards remaining in hand whether there is any way through this. Leonardo, in the first 2 matches that he played, he was comboing, but I think this is really as good as it gets. He was able to finally full combo in the match where it matters the most, in the match that possibly grants him entry into the World Championship.
We do see the branded, I think, Regained coming down here as well.
The opening here.
Opening, sorry, thank you.
We're negating it, but we're also destroying the Quem as we on resolution can decide so. And we will just get 2 for the price of 1, essentially.
What a card. What a card.
Oh, and Yannik is shuffling his deck. Is that a good sign?
Well, he does have talents in his hand, so it might be that he's trying to draw 2 at this point.
Well, that would be a good card to activate here. He does have triple tactic talents. Leonardo, or does he? He has Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring locking up game number 1. Leonardo is in the lead with a huge combo there by the Archmage Power Patron deck, leaving almost no room to breathe in that game even there for Yannik, who was losing that die roll and then not looking good in that first game, sadly.
Sometimes you just have everything, and sometimes the opponent just doesn't. And that, unfortunately, for Yannik is what happened there. But obviously, massive well done to Leonardo there. Did a fantastic job. Piloted his turn very well. Yep. Again, the surprising thing for me, discarding the TTT, that to me is unconscionable. However, if you are confident enough that you just don't need that powerful card, well, go for it.
The rest of his hand was caught by the grave and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, so you can't even really give up on those cards either. So it was the weakest card, which is crazy to imagine. But also, he was at that point so deep into his turn, so you could almost rule out that the triple tactic talents will be live that turn. So I think it was just, honestly, somewhat of an easy give up, maybe even, just considering the way the turn played out up until this point. So he was ready and happy to give that card up. Let's have a little look into the side deck. Is there anything spicy coming in here on any of their
side deck for Leonardo? Actually, yeah. This DD Crow.
Ooh, old school card.
Which actually might be useful against the branded deck.
For sure.
That's really good. Got Santa Claus, also a very good card. I like that one a lot. We have the standard stuff here as well, but just to check out the Yannick's deck as well. In the side deck, we have the Ash Blossom in the side deck, which I can see the logic behind that.
For sure.
Because it's not necessarily the best card to have in main if you think that you can play into a more charmy well. You don't need to deal with it. So yeah, I can see maybe signing this in now just in case to make sure you don't get any more Charmy draws 100% here.
Also, a lot of people are not main decking the Mold Charmies, so it's smart to then have the answer for the Mold Charmies only in the side deck because you don't expect that many Charmies in the main deck anyway. So yeah, does add up, does make sense. Anything else that's standing out?
For going first, I think the Triple Tactics Thrust and the Mistaken Arrest here I think the Mistaken Arrest is going to be the main thing here.
Probably, yeah.
Because that Pendulum deck is going to struggle against that.
Maybe it will. Like, if he sees it, I'm sure he will not be thrilled, or Leonardo will not be thrilled being on the opposite, on the receiving end of that. But Only one game away now for Leonardo. He can smell Japan. He can smell sushi basically already. Japanese food. He's already almost halfway there with one step into the plane on his way. I mean, Worlds is not that far away anymore. It's like only 1.5 months from now. So
it's really not.
Yeah.
It's not far off at all.
Yeah.
It takes place around my birthday time. I'm going to watch it on my time off.
Ooh, that sounds about right. Everyone at home definitely should make sure to also tune in for the World Championship, the most prestigious event there is. Last year, Europe certainly had a really good showing at World Championship with a second-place finisher through Tom Kleingräber. And first after Swiss, Yuna was. Yuna not making it through the playoff this year, but of course there is still the main event to be played, so there might be the chance for her to go back still. But going back, we are to this game. We need to find out who's making it. So game 2 starts now. Who can make it? It's also a case of, will there be a German going to the World Championship, as Yannik is the only one that could still make that happen? Or will it be a second Italian following Danilo's footsteps to the World Championship through Leonardo?
Certainly be interesting to see. We do also have our resident Brit going through as well from Josh. But we have, yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out here from, I'm assuming Yannik going first. Maybe not, but I'm assuming that's the case here.
I would assume so as well. It looked like they were done already, but now they are also done with their shuffling. So who can it be? Will it be Yannik with his branded strategy that will definitely be able, hopefully, to play a little more than in the first game? But let's
Seems
find
a
out.
solid hand from the small peaks of cards I can see here, but the normal summon of Aluba, the Jester of Despia here, very powerful card, just able to search out your branded fusion, which, I mean, hey, we don't know what is in Leonardo's hand, but it might be the dreaded Blossom, you know?
Well, at this point, I think there were times where normal summoning Alua would always result in branded fusion. Nowadays, though, as we can also see here, it's not even necessarily the first choice, as this will be branded in High Spirits instead, which immediately gets activated by Yannik as well.
You make an excellent point, revealing the Ecclesia here from the hand and the Grand Guignol from the Escher deck as well, sending us to the graveyard and able to search here. What a wonderful card that is. What a great card.
At this point, I'm questioning whether players are even playing those branded fusions anymore, because you see it so rarely. I think Yannik is, he's playing the one copy, yeah.
And I'd imagine it's there. I don't see why you wouldn't have it there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think if you have a better line you can go with that doesn't involve it, it's there as like your power one-off. You don't necessarily need to use it all the time.
For sure. I think there is nowadays just simply sometimes better options, which seems like a crazy thing to say. Like,
it does.
Imagine talking back to a branded player 5 years ago and telling them,
you'll be
you know what?
what?
Branded fusion, you don't want that card. You don't need that card in your branded deck.
Quite frankly, it's mid.
That card, though, not mid at all. We see
not in the slightest.
Mulcharmy Fuvalos trying to deny any kind of deck and extra deck shenanigans on Yannick's end. But as we have already brought that Ecclesia into the graveyard, at least through the effect of Fallen of the White Dragon, we're not giving up on any draws here.
Absolutely. Ecclesia, I think, being able to search for a Dogmatica spell, unless I'm much mistaken here as well, on summon.
Well, or something that is always treated as a Dogmatica card, like Fallen and the Virtuous. I think I already saw double Fallen and Virtuous in Yannick's hand, though, so not sure whether that's necessarily the card you still want to go for then.
Why not go 3?
Well, okay, yeah, sure.
As a treat, you know?
Just have all of them, and yeah.
We do see the activation here, yeah.
Let's get that Fallen and the Virtuous. He was considering the Quem for a quick second, but it did end up being that card instead.
I think there might be High Spirits in the hand, actually. I'm not sure.
Might be, yeah. There's
it might be
4 spell cards in total.
Sorry. There is more than one, though.
Oh, and I mean, when you have multiples, of course, you're always going to activate that first copy on your own turn now. I think we would have anyhow, for sure, but now we're even more assured to do that as, yeah, there is 2 more Fallen to the Virtuous.
Fascinating as well. Very nice, very good. Getting that extra Titanic Light into the graveyard as well, just such a powerful thing to be able to get in there. So much. That's why I like Branded as like conceptually. It's like, hey, let's get all this to the graveyard and then get our main phase 3 on the go.
So, Charles, is this a good or a bad thing? We have successfully played around the Mulcharmy Fuvalos by giving 0 draws, but this is our end field. So is that good or bad?
I don't think it's bad in the slightest. We have the Ecclesia, which can't be destroyed by battle by extra monsters, which doesn't always come up, but it doesn't not come up either. We have the branded Retribution. We have the Fallen of the Virtuous. We have graveyard interactions here. It's not as if this is nothing. I find that branded often ends on a field that doesn't look like a lot and ends up being a lot more than you think.
For sure, and something you really don't see as often is searching Fallen of the White Dragon in the end phase with one of those very powerful graveyard effects of your fusion monsters. Usually, you just go ahead. Oh my!
The Lightning Storm being slammed onto the field here. How will Yannik respond here? Using Fallen of the Virtuous on one of his own cards. Maybe there's someone from the graveyard? Either way, there's a way to just to destroy one of their own cards, I believe, here. Sending the Rimbrem to the graveyard to be able to get that extra effect. And we have the Mistaken Arrest!
That was one of the other spell cards, and there is a small applause going through the crowd. That's probably the people rooting for Yannik here, as that could be the card keeping him here in this game and ultimately in this match as well.
Like I said, it doesn't look like a lot, but it does plenty enough when you get to this sort of stage of the game. But we see here Leonardo really considering his plays. Again, these are untimed matches, no need to rush through. Consider, take your time, be thoughtful about your plays. We do see him thinking about, we have the Pot of Sloth as well!
He's not making any excuses, and that is where the difference between Drolan Lockbird and Mistaken Arrest comes in. You are still allowed to draw cards. Was one of the weaker Pot of Sloths, though, I want to say, because there's only one card remaining on the side of Yannik, though.
Would it not have been an idea to maybe use that before the Lightning Storm?
You could have, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe you were thinking that they have an answer to it, possibly. I don't know. I definitely agree with you. It's an interesting decision to go that way around. Maybe our hand is so crazy that we don't even really need the Pot of Sloth to do too much.
Yeah, that might, if anything, have been maybe Ash bait at this point. You just don't know.
Could very well be. So Yannik just clarifying until when Mistaken Arrest will be in effect. And of course that will be until the end of your next turn after this card resolves. So the entire turn that Yannik will play will also be impacted by that. Here comes Shade, the Obscure special summoning itself after activating that Power Patron scale. And that now is going to lead to that Quem being summoned out there through the effect of our Grand Guignol.
We do indeed see that. The Grand Guignol is such a powerful card in many strategies. I've even seen it being used in like Fairy Tale decks with super duper polymerization.
Oh yeah,
it just gets you
that's a fun one.
Yeah, it gets you a free Lulawell Lilith on the field, which it's just pretty strong. It's just pretty good. But we see here again considering plays, and again I keep saying it, but there's no need to rush on this at this moment in time. We see the Rimbrem being activated here, though, by the looks of things. Maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's bring it out. There is no Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard, but there is Fallen of the White Dragon.
Which might as well be.
Could turn into the desired Fallen. Yeah, Ecclesia first, and Ecclesia is going to use its effect right away. I think we're just trying to make it happen now. Yep, Fallen of Albaz.
There we go.
Is there any answer from Leonardo?
Discarding that spare Fallen of the Virtuous, fusing away for, I'd imagine that's a Lobelian here.
Do we go for Lobelian? We could. That would provide additional interruption then later on.
Mixuzia would be an interesting choice, but I don't think it can go for Mixuzia. But yeah, we have the Lobelian here being summoned from this wonderful little interaction
This
here.
is expensive though, right? Because we have already discarded a card for the Fallen of Albaz.
Yeah.
Now we could possibly, if we are using the effect of our Lobelion, discard another card. At least we get a card back with the Quem too. But yeah, we're discarding that
They
Fallen
are
of White
only
Dragon too.
spare cards at this point, to be fair. They are repeats of what have been in the field and graveyard already.
True.
It's maybe not something, if it were an Ash Blossom, you might think twice about this, but at the moment it's not that bad. And seeing as we get that fusion here, this might well be enough to clinch the game for Yannik here, because I believe, unless I'm much mistaken, you can go for a Mirror Jade here as well.
We should be able to, and that is
there
what
it
Yannik is looking at, leaving the Lobelion on the field, just using materials from the graveyard.
And we have that Cartesia coming back as well, so even more potential plays here.
Absolutely. Leonardo, only 2 cards in hand remaining, but the Nervado is still on the field. And Medius Vapure is the normal summon of choice, and the best normal summon the deck has to offer here.
It's pretty good. I think one of the only normal summons the deck can do. It's not a very normal summon heavy deck.
Absolutely
the,
not.
The level 10s. But we see it summoning the Nervado to the field here as well, which again, it's a tough spot. I think we do see the Cartesia being activated here as well. Going for another fusion. What are we going to go for here?
This is not Chaos.
Mixuzia, the Confounder, a very powerful new TCG exclusive card. Basically, it's a fantastic super polymerization target, but also lets you quick effect, banish itself and a monster in the graveyard to fusion summon during the opponent's turn. Summon the hyper-invoked Aegion here as well. Able to just get rid of Leonardo's field and packing things up.
And getting rid of the hopes of Leonardo to win that game as Yannik wraps it up with that interaction and is still in the running here, still able to keep it competitive. We will have to go into that very last game to find out who of the two is going to be the smiling winner, the one booking their golden ticket to the World Championship, to honestly the most desired tournament in the world, right? Like that once-in-a-lifetime experience of just going to Worlds. I mean, I've been there as a caster, but I can only imagine how nice it must be as a player. That's just the pinnacle of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being part of the World Championship once.
You did a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
As of course all the team did. But yeah, no, you're completely right. And again, it's not just that. It's also the fact that it is in Tokyo as well, which is, who doesn't want to go to Tokyo?
Just a trip to Japan, the home country of Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Wonderful. Get to go and check out some cool stuff while you're there and then play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! What a treat. What a day.
And you're basically treated as a VIP as well, because we're all like, oh you're competing at the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship? That's the coolest thing ever.
What a life to live.
It is.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely insane.
And it's such an exclusive tournament as well. I mean, you of course, as a viewer, realize that by watching throughout the weekend here with how little, how small of an amount of people we are sending. The overall tournament then in the end is only going to be like 24 people or something. So it's like really just the best of the best and just the most condensed amount of people there competing for the title in the end. So it's really only getting there already. Just to see the pure factor of being at the World Championship is already such a huge accomplishment for your career.
It is just like the most hardcore locals that has ever existed. You just go and there's one guy there on his pet deck like, wait, is this not locals? No, that is insane. It's wonderful. It's a truly wonderful thing that we're able to like send these fantastic people who well deserve to be able to go at this point as well. They've put in so much work to go to here, let alone to go to Japan afterwards. Even getting to this stage is such an incredible achievement as well.
Yeah, and so far it has been the one-off decks in representation of our deck breakdown. It has been the one Invoke that made it. It has been the one Chaos Ritual deck that made it. It could be another one-off with that Power Patron deck that Leonardo has brought onto the stage. It could also be one of the 4 or 5 branded decks represented. We shall find out.
It's very exciting stuff.
Will it be Yannik or will it be Leonardo? Let's find out. Do we have a way to play? If we combo with that Power Patron deck, chances are pretty good that we are winning, but we got to find a starter for that first. And also, Yannik, of course, could have a say in things with, immediately stopping his opponent in standby phase, and there's a good reason to do so, as Yannik drops down Molchami Purulia to hinder all of the possible outcomes that Leonardo can produce in his Power Patron combo.
Just spying Yannick's hand here on the monitor, you can see more than one Molchami. It couldn't make it. The one I recognized that it wasn't Molchami though, and a super polymerization as well. So there's this is going to be difficult game for Leonardo. Not unwinnable, obviously. Tricky though. We do see the activation of the Nevado, and then the it's something lull. Theorealize, thank you. The Theorealize lull here as well been activated. Wonder if we'll see some interaction coming out from Yannik here, or will it just be saved at the moment?
So far,
another. So almost every. We have the Call by the Grave coming out here because the Power Patron deck can play around the Purulia, giving just 1 or 2 draws at most, but it struggles into for a while. So immediately getting rid of that threat here and summoning the immediate support to the field.
That's sick. Leonardo saying, I really don't mind your Purulia, buddy, because I'm summoning from the deck here anyways. I get my Meteors for Pure, which is now going to get another monster from the deck. But that Molchami Fuvolos, let me tell you something. I have something prepared for it, and you won't like it. And the thing is now, you spotted multiple Molchami cards there in the hand of Yannik, so maybe there even is another one which now cannot be activated anymore, as there is just simply the restriction of only having 2 Molcharmi effect activations per turn.
Absolutely.
So that might be a pretty rough one here for Yannik.
A fun fact I found out about the Molcharmies is that they are not used, they are activate. So if you negate the activation, you can do it again, which is rare for monsters.
Oh my! Triple tactic talents also in the hand of Leonardo.
What a hand, though. This is the difficult thing here, is that although this does only leave Yannik on a draw and then a super polymerization, that's a super poly. That's not nothing. That's something you can play around, but it's going to be difficult to do so at this point.
And I mean, when you discard the Albion, you can also use the graveyard effect of Albion, getting further cards into the graveyard, which could then still do things. So Yannik not out of this just yet, but losing that sphere mode there is, of course, a huge factor there.
That really is, I think, the main issue here is losing the sphere mode, because the other things you can play around sphere mode, unless you haven't summoned enough monsters, you just can't play around it. It's so difficult. But we see the effect of the Geprado being activated here to summon the Jupiter from the extra deck as well, which I think allows it to attach a material to itself optionally.
You could have done that, just with the resolution of the effect, also attach something to it. Sure. But we're going to link it off anyway, so no business really in doing that. But what an opener for Leonardo. Having combo access backed up by Call by the Grave and Triple Tactic Talents is really as good as it gets.
Yeah. I think Triple Tactic Talents has been, for me, the most impactful card of this entire tournament. It seems to come out at the most opportune moments and just completely upend the game state as it stands on its head. So the Shady Obscure is summoned as
we're
well.
Summoning from the hand. Hold on. We're actually finding a way to bring Yannik into this game by allowing him to get a couple more cards here drawn, or at least that one more card through the Molcharmi Perulia.
This also perhaps signaling to Yannik that Leonardo's hand is not stellar. I feel like if you have a very good hand and can play through interruptions, you would let your opponent take a couple of draws before you talents hand rip them. I think going for the talents first is you need to check, can I keep playing? So maybe signaling that he's not got the best hand here as well.
Yeah, good point for sure. Might absolutely be the case. But now how many more draws do we have to give for this? I mean, with Shade the Obscure, there is no real other way to bring it out. Like, you gotta summon it from the hand. There is like no other way to do it, but I don't think any of the other cards really require you to summon from the hand, so that should be the only draw that we have to give. Also, I mean, if you Pendulum Summon, make sure to not Pendulum Summon from the hand, maybe, as that would be giving another draw. But that is now finally going to open up things with Beyond the Pendulum. The nowadays, modern days Electromite, you could say, linked to Pendulum related, gives you access to 2 Pendulum Scales for the price of only cheap 1,200 life points.
Truly a fantastic card for any Pendulum-focused strategy here as well. Also, Shade the Obscure has that similar effect of just being able to like search the deck and whatnot as well, unless I'm much mistaken. They do a lot of fantastic things. All these Pendulum cards work so well in tandem with each other, and us getting Shade the Obscure over in the TCG really boosted this deck into a place where it just didn't quite get to over in the OCG.
Certainly, and there is the Pendulum Summon now that we were mentioning. And we are amassing level 10 monsters here once more, so that is already looking like a Varujas. We want to make sure, though, to not necessarily end on another Dark Monster next to Varujas, maybe, to play around a possible Mud Dragon in the extra deck of Yannik. But first of all, Leonardo is just enjoying some more card draw. What's better than drawing a couple of cards?
Not a lot. Not a lot. It's a wonderful feeling. Yeah. But we see here, I believe, a Pendulum Summon here coming out for... I've got to imagine it's Exceed the Pendulum at this point.
Of course it is. Will we be able to set up the same thing that we did in the first game? Will there be another quartet? Maybe bringing back a Baguska, maybe even bringing back a side deck option there, because you could side into other cards that you want to be using together with that so powerful new Link monster. So
the interesting thing about the monsters that Quartet summons as well is that you don't need to worry about super polymerization for them because they can't be used material.
Oh, you're right. True.
So if there are certain cards you can summon with that, which if you want to do so, makes them completely safe at that point.
That's fair. Doesn't look like we're going into any rank 4 shenanigans this time around. We just make the Varujas. But I'm sure we're not just going to leave these 2 monsters on the field there. Is there maybe another Link monster?
Surely a way to remove one of those Dark Monsters. Ideally the Ronaldo, I'd imagine. Jabrado? Ronaldo.
To be fair though, the branded extra deck, do they have space for Matreg nowadays? It's so tight. Like, does Yannik play it?
Yeah, fantastic point. Let's just look.
I don't think he does.
He doesn't from the looks of it, if this is everything, yeah.
There is no Matreg. He's siding Garura, which helps, but also I think Varudras is a Wyrm, and the other two Dark, or all of the other Dark Monsters that are on the field, I don't believe are Wyrms, so that doesn't help.
Having said that, you don't need it to destroy, or not destroy, to remove only your opponent's cards, though. Obviously, the strength of it in the branded deck is that you use it on your own things as well to, like, remove something along with one of your own monsters as well.
If we get to a Fallen of Albus or Fallen of the White Dragon, then everything looks a lot different, of course.
Having said that, leaving Exceed the Pendulum on the field is already an issue because of Mixuzia. That's just a spellcaster and a non-spellcaster.
Oh, you're right.
That just gets rid of anything here. And it's wondering if Leonardo has thought about that and is going to remove that Exceed from the field.
We shall find out, as Leonardo is still not done with his turn here just yet. And Yannik just sitting there hoping, praying. Hopefully a good top deck, maybe something that makes this possible. Because for now we know about 2 out of the 3 cards in his hand. One of them is the Super Polarization. Another one is Albion the Shrouded Dragon. How much can we do with those 2 cards available?
Once again, both players taking their time, thinking out their turns. I do really love seeing that. It's good to see the players taking their times and considering their next move, because it's important to understand what you're going to be doing and how each of your moves is going to affect the ongoing game state.
Well, if there ever is a time, it truly is here in this match, as this is the highest of stakes. The stake is the World Championship. One of them will be able to enjoy that, and the other one will be watching from home if they don't make a run in the main event later on this weekend.
It's a good point. It's worth noting, again, this isn't the end for these players either way. There is the main event of the weekend. There is another chance to be able to get there and go, and the players of this quality have a fantastic chance to be able to do so. I think that's a discard of the Dominus Impulse there to summon the non-Finito. I mean, I guess you're trading. It has a very similar effect for the counter trap, but it's a counter trap instead. So I guess at that point you're trading the counter trap for the non-counter trap.
Yeah.
And the non-counter trap is going to lock you out a certain effect as well. So I can see the logic behind it at the very least.
I do agree. Setting out that trap card surely ain't bad. It can't be used on the Super Polymerization, but we know that there is no other real play so far besides that. So on the one play maybe that they find, should be an easy decision to just use the new Archmage counter trap.
There's still so much here that is Super Polymerization-able.
But I mean, are you so mad about getting Super Polyed on Non-Finito and the Beyond the Exceed the Pendulum? It's not as bad, right? Like, is that an issue?
I think this is the thing. I think you have to kind of consider what you want to get rid of here as the Super Poly. I think there are 2 ways to play around Super Poly: is not give them things to do it with, or give them too many things that they can't really make the choice at that point. And it seems, if anything, it's the latter here from Leonardo, because there's so many good options here to get rid of that you're left with something either way. You're left with something powerful either way, look at it.
Here comes the Purification Power Patron again. That card certainly has been included in all of those Power Patron decks since the release of Chaos Origins. Just casually going through it. You called it the Power Patron IP Masquerena, which is kind of fitting, but we are just going to use it here once again to link climb further. And we are in a similar situation from what we were into game number 1 into the quartet.
Again, it's difficult. This is a very difficult place for both Leonardo and Yannik here. Leonardo knowing that the opponent has all these powerful breakers in the deck, even though sending back that sphere mode has given him 2 draws. It's very possible we see that come back at some point. But the Charmer Quartet in Bloom being summoned here is hopefully a way to play around that if it's not activated in draw phase.
Charmer Quartet in Bloom is a light monster.
It is.
A light spellcaster, so not necessarily something we can immediately work with.
Spellcaster, non-spellcaster, Mixuzia.
Yeah, you're right,
so you can just get, at this point, Yannik has the option of Charmer plus Varudras or Charmer plus Non-Finito.
Oh wait, actually, that's crazy actually.
Yeah, it's a crazy card. It's really good.
So maybe the field that Leonardo settled on ultimately when he was trying to play around the super polymerization that he saw there since the very beginning, when he looked into the hand with the triple tactic talons, where it almost felt like he was already wrapping up this game, he found a line to play into it somehow.
It's a new card as well, and it's TCG exclusive, so it's not necessarily as known. But there we see the Super Poly coming down, hitting the field, discarding that spare Mulch Army, and fusing away the Charmer Quartet in Bloom and the Archmage Non-Finito. Oh, sorry, not the Non-Finito, the Varudras here. Removing them from the field for that Mixuzia, the Confounder.
That is crazy, and it was revealed to Leonardo in the game before that. He knew that card is in the extra deck of Yannik, so he should have definitely been aware and maybe found a line around it. But now that monster is sitting pretty there in the extra monster zone. And
doesn't do a lot during your own turn, but if anything, it is just a body on the field to do something with. It is something there. You can fuse with it, you can use it as material, you can do other things with it. It's mainly an opponent's turn effect, obviously. But we see the branded high spirits coming down here as well.
Oh, last two cards in hand are a certain good combination of cards. All of a sudden, Yannik seems to be online. And Leonardo, you can really tell by how he's looking at this. He knows that this is such a crucial moment of his Yu-Gi-Oh! Career. And that super polymerization was already revealed to him. And still, it may be the reason he's losing here.
I think it was just a matter of either forgetting about that card or not understanding how the fusion materials work on it, which is a real shame. Is a real shame. Again, I think maybe the only misstep he's made the entire tournament. If not, you know, it's just so unfortunate that he's played into that at the moment. But we're going to see here how Yannik decides to play at his own turn. We still have that counter trap available to Leonardo here as well. So there is still a place to make it through this turn, survive it, see how it goes, because we know everything that Yannik has. The hand is revealed, everything's gone. It's just now a matter of, you know what you have, let's see how they clash, and let's see which of these players can come out on top.
Well, but even if we negate this from the White Dragon here, there is a dragon that develops with Dogma in the graveyard, there's Titanic Lad in the graveyard, there also still is the Albion the Shrouded Dragon in the graveyard, so it feels like the long game will always be won by the grind deck here, which is the branded deck, of course.
Absolutely. And Mixuzia being on the field as well during the opponent's main phase, you can quick effect to fuse. So there's just so many ways to use things here. But we do see that counter track coming out and negating and I believe destroying the Fall of the White Dragon here as well, leaving just the Mixuzia on the field, which is kind of plenty, and also again with that main I keep saying main phase 3, the end phase here for the branded deck, able to do all these really interesting things as well.
And there we go, graveyard effect of Albion the Shrouded Dragon. We may not get a draw for it, but still we get maybe something like a retribution into the graveyard here if we want. And then that Shrouded Dragon will no longer be in the graveyard, but I think we will be fine with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We should be okay in the end. And I mean, that can lead to interesting combinations, because when you send, for example, the Retribution here, then in the end phase with the Titanic Lad, you can summon out a Quem. Quem could then send something else that you want to add back with the Retribution, and that can just snowball and give you plenty of options in the end phase then. But for the moment, we're just sending Branded and High Spirits to the graveyard.
Wouldn't be surprised if you sided out the Retribution going second, to be fair.
Possibly, yeah, that's definitely something that is possible. Certainly, and Leonardo.
I didn't see any traps in the deck as he was fanning through. Just attacking for, I think, 27 on Mixuzia, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, just a nice little chunk of damage on there, and then leaving it on the field for the opponent's turn, where, again, he's still going to be there to be able to do some powerful plays.
Mixuzia, the Confounder, is that going to be a new staple in all decks that run super polymerization? Yannik certainly is making a case for it here in that deciding match, and that new card from Chaos Origins may as well be his enabler to the World Championship.
It is a truly fantastic card. Insane to me that it was released in common. There are so many cards that were released in the last set.
So many! Like, also from the match that Danilo played early on, all those Invoke cards were all common as well. Like, that set just brought so many powerhouses into the new format that we're playing now this weekend.
It really did. Even, I'll go as far as say the Melfi cards. I know it's not maybe this format, but in the Genesis format, they do so much. They're really powerful. And the fact that they're all just commons and supers, as are the old ones, what a fantastic way to get someone into the game as well.
It just fits the theme. And now Yannik, apparently in the end phase, going to search for Fallen the Virtuous, and has the Titanic lad still to be used. And we will make good use of that by bringing out the Quem here as it looks. Yes, there we go. So what are we going to do with the Quem now? Do we just send a regular Fawn of Albas maybe, which we can then bring back on the opposing turn? That could work.
I think you do. I think you can do that, yeah. That might be the way to go because, like you say, that's just an extra point of interaction during the opponent's turn. And considering that Leonardo's kind of starting on nothing, that might well be enough. Just removing whatever you're able to summon immediately might be enough here.
I mean, they still have the field spell, and they also still have one scale available to them. So we do definitely have to make sure to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, it could also just be Cartesia or Ecclesia. Both of them would successfully replace themselves and get back into the hand for further follow-up. And it will be the Cartesia here. Sweet.
Very solid choice. Again, this is the point where I think Branded really likes to be. It is grind game. There's no way to close out the game here, and there may well not be a way to close out the game on Leonardo's turn either. This is that incredible grind game that this deck has.
Okay. Finally, Leonardo seems relieved that the turn of Yannik is over. We bring back the non-finito, but it sure enough is gone the very moment after as we use the Foreign of the Virtues, but we have surged, immediately triggering Quem, bringing back the Cartesia, replacing the Fallen and the Virtuous as well, basically as if we have never activated it in the first place.
What an insane way to end your turn.
Yes.
You end your turn in a better place that, like, you start your end phase and then you plus. That's insane.
That card truly may as well, even though we have released so many incredibly powerful cards in the last couple of sets, maybe this card's still the best card that has been released in the last half year, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so good.
It's used in so many decks, even not a branded deck, just using it in anything for like a generic removal spell.
Look at this. We're using both our Titanic Lad from the graveyard and still the Mixusia that was on the field to go into our... Oh, we're having all Alistair decks qualifying today. It's crazy. Alistair is so back in this.
The I believe it's called Hyper Invoked Aeon.
Yeah.
Truly an amazing. And we see the concession for Leonardo there. Yannik takes it and is going to Worlds.
And you saw it. He was doing the gesture towards his friends. He is actually in such an interesting fashion, in such an unexpected fashion, making his entrance there to the big stage. He is going to be representing Europe, Germany, his friends, everyone at the World Championship in Tokyo. Like, oh, that tongue that he was like, almost like